such a pain to be alone and lonely in the rain. And it,
Good job. You blew out the audio yet again. Welcome to Intelligence Not Included. Is a podcast made for you and specifically you. We got together and wanted to make sure you really enjoyed this.
Specifically for just you and you alone.
I'm your host Jeremy,
And I'm your host AJ.
and we're wanting to talk about some issues going on with the Xbox 5 or Xbox 5. Jesus Christ, I'm already off a bad
Now
start.
you know you're a PC player. You
Now
don't even
you
know what they're called.
I haven't even paid attention to it whatsoever. Like, I know people are having trouble finding PS5s and Xbox Ones, and apparently Xbox One is going to have a I read online today that they're actually like going to have shortages through April of 2021. They're expecting already.
What, for Xbox One?
Or the Xbox One Series X, which is
The
their
stupidest name.
Their naming system is fucking terrible because like it started off with the Xbox. That's fine.
Yeah.
The Xbox 360. I mean, I get it. They pulled a 360 and now it stands on its side like the PS3. I guess. I mean, I think it's because like they went like from a small black box to now a vertical white box. I don't know if that's the idea, but I don't know what the 360 was supposed to be all about.
I really don't understand the relevance of it. But yeah, I mean, like that's an understatement that they've been having trouble like with
Their naming, and they just be making it worse. Because then you have the Xbox 360, which is the last one that you can actually identify, I think. And then you go to the Xbox One, and then you're like, okay, Xbox One. It's because it's
it's like stupid.
So they named it the Xbox One because it's supposed to be the all-in-one system for you.
I guess. Like
That's literally why they named it that. It's because it was supposed to be like they hailed it as like the entertainment. What's like the entertainment like hub for your living room.
yeah, even though I guess it didn't turn out to be that way at the beginning because it was a disaster. You remember that? When that system first came out?
So what I can remember, like when the system first came out, I remember them going on stage and what the fuck is it? Don Matrick, I think his name. He got like slaughtered online because instead of showing off the Xbox One, all right, as a I don't know video game console, they mainly talked about how you could watch television on it.
Yeah.
And TV, and how you could also watch TV, and then you can tell the new Kinect that you'd like to watch a certain type of TV.
I remember that the Xbox One press conference.
Yeah.
To introduce
I think it was at
the
E3.
console. It was like
Yeah.
a launch conference.
Yeah, but like their entire thing, like they mentioned games here and there, sure, but for the most part, they were like, oh, you know, the Xbox One, it goes in your living room. You can hook up your cable box to it. When you hook up your cable box to it, then you can be able to watch channels through it. You can tell the Xbox what to do and use the remote, so whatever.
And it's like that's all cool, but it's like, you know, we play these, we get these consoles so we can play video games, like, and you're basically like introducing it as a fancy remote. You know?
Yeah, it was turning into like a fancy DVR to me, and then so
Essentially.
the two things that really killed it in the beginning, at least like that everybody shit on Xbox for, is the fact that the Xbox One was essentially your new television console, and you put your DVR into it. I actually did that for a while, and I put my DVR into the Xbox and routed all through it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it worked pretty well because the thing that I loved about the Xbox One was the Kinect, because they when it actually worked up until a certain point where I think that mine might be either dead or just I don't know, drunk, because I used to be able to come home and I would say, you know, like Xbox on, and it would turn on my TV, turn on my surround sound, turn on the DVR, automatically open the Xbox up to the DVR onto the channel that I wanted. It turned on everything all at once within like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. And I literally I would come home from work, just say that, and go into the bathroom, use the restroom, come back out, and I could just sit down and start watching TV. It was awesome, or play a game, whatever it is that I wanted to do.
And that's all cool. It's just not like a great selling point to start your console, you know? Like, and the real reason I feel like people were bashing it online was because of the fact that for some reason Microsoft was like hell-bent on designing the console in such a way that it was basically designed to forbid pre-owned games.
It was like, what it was they were trying to say that that if you didn't buy your games new, that they weren't going to work. So like you couldn't be able to resell to GameStop, which honestly GameStop just go out of business at this point. I don't think they're really adding anything to the community anymore.
I think that's coming. That's like right around the corners. They're going to go out of business.
I sure hope so, in all honesty, because they're not useful anymore. I mean, they're definitely not useful for us anymore. I mean,
they're becoming
you more
obsolete.
so.
It's almost like they're getting desperate too. You know, they're if you go walk into a GameStop right now, you notice that they're selling anything they can possibly sell. Like they're selling Funko Pop figures. They're selling PC, accessories.
Well, I think they've always sold PC accessories. They used to sell more of them.
They sell a lot more now. They sell they sell toys and figurines.
That's the part that
things that they didn't sell before. You can tell that they're getting desperate.
So, my comment on that is that I don't know if it's because of the fact that GameStop's doing so poorly that they've moved into like the novelty like purchasing stuff or the novelty items anyway. Where you go in and you're like, oh shit, I really love, Devil May Cry 4. And they've got a statue here of it. Doesn't come with a game. Like, when you used to go out and buy a game, you're like, oh, the new Devil May Cry comes with a statue with the game. I'm going to buy the collector's edition. But instead, you're just like, I just want the statue. I can appreciate it because the statues, I want to buy certain ones. I at least should say I used to want to buy certain ones. I've been trying to cut back on all of my collector's edition spending. The last collector's edition I bought was Fallout 4 with the Pip-Boy. And that was the last one that I bought, which I'm pleased about because it's been quite a while. I used to buy the collector's edition for every game that came out. Really? I was always like, oh, if it's an extra $15-$20, I'll just pick it up. But I think you and I talked about it once before where it's like, if you buy a video game collector's edition, you would like to have the digital content. Like, and have like the extra gun in the game or the extra map. I want the physical item because I know that in 2 months, I'm not playing Gears of War 2 anymore. I'm not going to care about that Golden Lancer in the multiplayer side of the game because I'm going to play it for maybe like 16 hours, maybe in total 25, 30, and because I'm not a massive Gears of War fan, but I enjoyed the game, so I wanted to buy it, and it was just $10 for it. And yeah, sure. But once I'm done playing that game, that item is useless to me.
Yeah, I mean, my argument was that, when I had that content, and I know this is like a complaint for a lot of like gamers, was that when you had that content, it made you feel like, you were special because you had something else that another gamer didn't have. It was like an item that you used in the actual game. Whereas if I get like a statue, for example, it's like I'm not going to do anything with it. It's going to sit on my shelf collecting dust for like the next, couple years possibly. And then, I'm never really going to do anything with it. Whereas, in the game, if I have actual content, even if everybody has it within the next, couple months, it's still something that I'm going to be using in the actual game when I play it.
Sure.
If I decide I'm not going to play it anymore, moving on to other things, I mean,
it was worth the time that
happen.
Like it was worth the $10 to have that thing when you were playing the game.
Like, whereas, the statue, like I have statues from like pre-orders.
I saw some of them when I was over
for games, and I mean, some of them have gotten lost, and then others, they're floating around somewhere, or they're just, like I said, collecting dust on my shelf somewhere, and it's like, I don't really need any of that stuff. Maybe like if you're a collector, like a hardcore like fan,
that's how I used to be,
or something like that, and you want to sell it, or you want to, hold on to it for nostalgia or sentimental value, that's a different story. But I just feel like I get more value personally for in-game stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the in-game stuff they offer though is like, custom skin for this gun, and I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about the custom skin for this gun.
See, that's stupid shit.
Yeah.
I don't care about a skin for my character or like a game unless it's something like outrageously cool. That's exclusive only to me and that someone else is not going to have. But like I said, players don't like that. A lot of players feel like, oh, well, why does he get that and I don't? Like, just because I didn't pre-order the game, So
long as it's not so long as it's not an item that's going to like
give you an unfair advantage.
Yeah, to give you an advantage. That's a good way to put it. I was going to say to tip the scale in your favor.
Yeah, like
may the scale forever
that would
be
just
your favor.
I
can't think about it.
But like as long as they don't do that, then it's like whatever.
Yeah. My thought is that like, say like my Grand Theft Auto 5 set that I have in there, I bought that thing for I think it was like $150, and I played the game. I've enjoyed it. It's usually $60. So I paid an extra $90 on top of it for that thing, which now looking back, that was a stupid idea. But I'm trying to sell that. But like, there's a couple of things that I've gotten from video games that I had in the past where I'm like, I'm gonna sell this one thing, and people will buy them because they're collectibles and you can't buy them very much anymore. So long as it's a game that wasn't like massively produced like that. Yeah. For instance, like, have you ever seen the statue from Titanfall, the first one?
I don't think I have.
The thing is, like, from the floor up, it's probably about 3 feet tall or 2 feet tall, something like that. And it's like, it's an actual Titan with one of the pilots hanging off of his shoulder, and the whole thing lights up and everything like that. It's awesome. Massive. My friend Chris ran around trying to find one, and I had found one at a GameStop. I think they wanted like $90 for it, and because I was just some college kid, working part-time at Walmart, I was not going to be able to afford it. But that's one statue I think that if I'd have bought it, I'd kept it for a long time, because it was a really impressive statue. Unlike, say, like, I have the statue from Assassin's Creed 3. It's a piece of plastic, and you put a little flag behind them, and it's like, my thing is, like, where the fuck am I going to put any of this stuff? Like, I don't want it on my shelves. Like, I'm not going to have an Assassin's Creed 3 statue up there. Maybe it's for people who own a house. Because I've always lived in apartments, and maybe you have like an actual game room where you have shelves to display that kind of thing. Then I can understand,
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand, like, if you wanted something cool that like reminds you of, like, hey, I went and bought that game, and here's a statue that came with the collector's edition, and that's something you can always look back on, and to remind you of how cool it was,
Yeah,
because I remember I used to wait in line for like pre-order like midnight releases, which they don't do anymore.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. Like, even when Animal Crossing came out, because that was a big one. I don't think they did a midnight release. Then they did a release at like, that was also COVID. Never mind, that's probably why. Because I was like right in the beginning. It came out on the day that I was released from my job for the pandemic, or like I was quarantined start by my job, and I think it was March 20th, I think.
Yeah, that was like pretty much during the height of the pandemic.
Yeah, when they were like, everybody go home. And, oh, dude, driving anywhere, like, just even like to go out and like just go and get gas, or when I was going over to my grandparents.
It was a terrifying experience.
No, it was gorgeous. Nobody was on the road. Nobody's out there to piss me off. I loved it. I want like the first 2 weeks of the pandemic back, because there was nobody out. None of the stores were open. It looked like a damn ghost town everywhere you went.
I'm gonna be honest wonderful. Too, like, I loved it. Like,
same. Like, and then I stayed in the house for a week and a half without leaving. Like, I stocked up on food in the first day, and then like we cooked every day, and like we made whatever it was. I made pork chops, or she made something else, or I made steak, and she made pasta of some sort.
You see, that is good for people like you and me that can easily stay home and have a great freaking time with it. But for people like my girlfriend, who have, they love being outside.
She loves being outdoors, and she loves being social and going and doing adventures and stuff like that. Exactly. See, for her, being indoors, like being like trapped during quarantine, was a nightmare. For me, I was chilling. I was living my best life. Exactly. I woke up at like 3:00 in the afternoon. And I looked at my watch. I said, why do I even wear this thing? It doesn't matter what time it is anymore. Yeah. I'd look outside to find out what time it was. I didn't care about clocks at that point. I watched the entirety of the 7 seasons of Community in, I think, 2 weeks. Dude, it was great. There were days, like, literally when I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm still tired. And I went right back to bed. Like, see, it was great. That's the only thing I could never do to myself. Like, even though I woke up and I still felt tired, I still got out of bed, which is annoying. And I felt like I'm an idiot for doing that. I didn't take like one nap the entire quarantine. And I'm really pissed off at myself about that. I don't know what a nap is like. I wonder if they're nice. Oh, believe me, I did. I enjoyed the hell out of it. But that's why I'm kind of glad to be returning to work, because I feel like quarantine made me so lazy. Yeah, it made all of us lazy. It was requiring you to be lazy almost. But it made me like scumbag lazy, like scumbag lazy. There's a difference between being lazy, like just going around the house, lying down, not doing anything, and then there's scumbag lazy, sure, where you're sleeping in until like fucking, like 1, 2, 3 in the afternoon, mm-hmm, and then you're waking up playing video games. Like, literally your day consists of you waking up, playing video games, literally not going out contributing anything to society, and then going right back to bed. I don't contribute a damn thing to society. This is quarantine, baby. It's like, fuck that. Oh, I loved it. I'm living here for me, and then I'm going back to bed. Oh, it was so good. what I miss is that like Jess and I literally stopped paying attention to what day it was. I thought that it was like Tuesday once. It was like a
There
Friday.
were times where I would literally forget what month it is. I shit you not.
Same. I like she asked me, she's like, "What day do you think it is?" I'm like, Tuesday. She's like, "It's Friday." What day of the?
I still don't even know
what day of the
it is.
month it is. Today's the 18th, I think. Mm-hmm. We're just gonna keep on calling out every single day that we do these. That way we know what time we actually upload it. People are like, "You uploaded this thing 2 weeks late. What the hell is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
But no, it's the 18th today. But like she asked me, and I was like, "It's She goes, what day of the month?" I was like, "I think it's like the 11th." She goes, it's the 23rd. And I'm like, fuck. It's gone. And then I at least got the year right, so that's good. But yeah, it's just like it was great. Like I had no reason to know anything like that. I just went and got like the dog's nails trimmed real quick and went back home because Lord knows I'm not going to do that because I'll somehow clip off his damn leg. And I just like I loved the fact that I could just get up and like you said, like being like the lazy person. I'm already a slug, you know. I get the stuff done that I need to get done. I clean up the house and hang stuff up or go and walk the dog with Jess and we do whatever it is we got to do. And I try to get that stuff done early. And that being said, it's like I enjoyed tremendously the fact that I could just not worry about it. I don't worry about what time we go to bed. Jess was still like, "Oh, it's 5 o'clock. We should go to bed." And I'm like, "Why? For what reason? What are we gonna do? We gotta wake up early tomorrow."
Yeah, it's like what do you got planned tomorrow? And you want us to go to bed right now?
And that right there is why I was the idiot between the two of us when we were on quarantine because I would just wake up and go, "Fuck, do I have to do today?" Like I'm not gonna do anything. I go scroll through Netflix and just find something random to watch. I think I went through Disney Plus and found like a movie from like 1940. I was just like, we're gonna watch this now.
I watched everything on
something like
those
that.
services, but then like a large part of like what was keeping me sane during quarantine was video games. That is why I signed up for, and I don't know if anyone else has dealt with this same issue. I signed up for like major outlets like Walmart, GameStop, Amazon, Best
Signed up
Buy.
for what? For them to come over and like take your blood samples or what?
I signed up to get like notifications of when the PS5 and the Xbox One Series X were going to be available for pre-order.
And you got raped, buddy.
Oh, I got screwed over, and so did a lot of people because there was like a disaster or something with the Xbox Series X, the PS5. They started, I guess, doing pre-orders early, but no one was notified about it. So the only people who got those pre-orders were people who were like really on the ball and they were
calling and going in,
looking every single day.
I'm surprised that you didn't do that. I would have been checking like every 12:30.
Because I thought I was going to be notified. Like I told them, like as soon as pre-orders are available, let me know and I will put down a reservation for one of the consoles. And that's why I feel, and a lot of people felt cheated. Because now those consoles are completely unavailable.
Yeah.
Like the only way to get your hands on one right now is basically to go online and buy one off of eBay for like twice what it's worth.
And that lady today that we saw at Publix when we were out there.
That's exactly who I was going to bring up.
I cannot believe that like she was like, "Oh, I was lucky enough to get one for my son for his birthday." And I hope that the information was right about the PlayStation Network card because
you remember how I responded to her when she said that?
Yeah, you were like, "Oh my god, you're so lucky."
No, my exact words, like verbatim, was, "Oh, how nice for you," and I was kind of saying it sarcastically.
That's right, you did
because I was pissed. Like, yeah, it's so nice that you have one of those. I was supposed to have one right now. It just came out like a couple days ago, and I'm pissed off because now now I'm basically gonna have to stay off YouTube and social media for like the next couple months because they're gonna be releasing nonstop videos and let's play footage of like all these games that are releasing for those consoles, and I don't want any spoilers. Like I see people that are like putting out videos of let's plays and
but for
video
what game?
introductions.
What game are you trying to play on the new consoles that you need so much?
As of right now, there are not many out, but like for example, Spider-Man Miles Morales
is
out, and I've seen nonstop like videos on like YouTube and social media telling or showing people like
the game and how it looks,
the game it's like, and I'm like so pissed off because like I could be playing that right now and I should be able to play that right now, but I can't find this console anywhere because literally all the stores everywhere are sold out right now around
Yeah.
me. I've been checking literally every day, and like Target, Best Buy, Walmart, Amazon, you name it, any
Sure.
store, they're completely sold out.
Well, yeah, every single one of them sold out, and it's just like it's not going to be coming back anytime soon.
Exactly. So I just really am at a loss as to what to do. I can tell you right now, those consoles are not going to be available like in stores for probably a good year.
What?
Or
I don't
so.
think it'll be a year because I remember. So this is the first console cycle that I didn't really care to follow. Mainly because, like I said earlier, the Xbox, the new Xbox's name. I'm just gonna call it the new Xbox because I don't even know. Their naming scheme, like I said earlier, is just absolutely asinine, and I don't understand how it is they come up with these names or who it is in their marketing department that goes, you know what we should do? We should make them have a seizure while they're trying to figure out what game to buy. Like, when I was, like, young, when I was, like, about 10 years old or so, when I wanted a video game console for Christmas or something like that, or for a video game for a console, I could be able to just tell my parents, or not my parents anyway, my grandparents, just be like, yeah, you know, I want to get the new racing game for the Xbox. They just went and found the game for the Xbox. Now, I mean, like, I was saying, like, the 360, like, that you can differentiate. And there's the 360S for, like, the Slim, and the 360 without the disc drive. That was just, like, it looked like an Xbox One, like, ended up in a crusher somehow, and then it was just like a little digital version of an Xbox 360.
Which is what they're doing now for like these consoles too.
But at
It's
least this one's like
digital
an
version.
actual release. Like that one was literally like at the end of the Xbox 360's life cycle, they decided to release one of those. It was really strange. When they rolled into work, when I worked at Walmart, when they came out, it made no damn sense.
Yeah.
So then, like, I think it came out at the same time as the Xbox One did. But then the Xbox One came out. Like, I suppose at least PlayStation, I can give it to them for keeping the name just PlayStation 1,
Consistent,
2,
yeah.
3, 4.
It's
I
like,
know what I'm looking for.
What a beautiful series of names. Like PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know exactly what the console is and what to look for.
Yeah, and,
You know?
and instead you've got past the 360. All right, so we're going over that. Then you got the Xbox One, which is a dumb name. I'm sorry, it's dumb. The
Yeah.
DRM thing in the beginning.
I thought they were going to call it Xbox Next or
I
something
don't.
like that.
I thought that they were. I would have loved if they had called like so. When the Xbox 360 was having the rumors of getting Kinect,
Yeah.
the original version of the name for Kinect was so much better than the word Kinect. Do you know what the like project name for it was?
What?
Project Natal.
Natal?
Natal. That's such a more badass name. Like, do you have the new Project Natal or do you have the new Xbox Natal? Like, that's cool. Not the Kinect. Like, I don't know what it is about it. It's like you're gonna connect with your friend, and then they had that press demo of like the chick like playing with the kid, like they're drawing and like kind of catch a butterfly, or whatever the hell it is. Yeah. And you were never to this day able to be able to do something like that on the Kinect. Even though we were an entire generation forward, now 2 generations, and the Xbox and the Kinect isn't actually a thing for the Xbox Series X. Mm-hmm. Series X. Okay. See, I even got confused trying to figure out what it is there. And even though that's not a thing anymore, like the entirety of the Kinect system, we never even met with what it is that they were trying to promote. But going back to like the names, it's like, you know, the Xbox One. All right, I can handle Xbox One. It's dumb, but then what do you call the original Xbox? Just the original Xbox or the first Xbox or Xbox One? And then you go to Xbox One S. And you're like, okay, Xbox One S, it's a little bit slimmer, sleeker, whatever it is. Then you got the Xbox One X. And you're like, okay, that's just too much. The Xbox One X now, and then it's a 4K ready thing and what have you. And why didn't you call it like the Xbox 4K? Like, it should have just been simple. And then you got the Xbox One Series X. Why is this next one called the Xbox One still? Like, it's not the all-in-one series anymore, like the same bundle of bullshit. It's just the next console, and it looks like a damn refrigerator, which is wonderful. And people have made, I think it was Xbox actually made a refrigerator that was styled after the Xbox One, which is what the Xbox One Series X, might I say. And then the Xbox One Series S. Yes, please choose letters that actually sound close to one another. So when I tell my foreign grandmother what I want, she goes, X? And I'm like, oh, perfect. Yes, you know exactly what I mean.
And then, like, I swear to God, watch them actually name the upgraded version of the Series X. Like, watch it. It's going to be the Xbox One Series X S. Like, it's going to be like a slim version of this like console, and they're just going to just keep going in that formula. You know, to when they name these consoles.
So
It's just so dumb.
I want to fight you on one thing though, which is that you love the PlayStation more than the Xbox, and you know that I've always been an Xbox fanboy over a PlayStation person.
Yes.
So the thing is that, like, when I've gone through like console releases for the original PlayStation, like I still have my PlayStation 1 over there in the shelf. And I used to slide the thing inside of the side of my Jinko jeans and go to my friend's house and be able to hang out. And I'm telling you, that's a true story right there. I wore my my crappy t-shirt with the flames on it, and then my Jinko jeans that my PlayStation 1 fit in one pocket, and my controller and cords fit in the other with a game or two. Went over to my friend's house to hang out. It was great.
Cargo shorts are the best.
Exactly. Now you need an entire bus to be able to take anything anywhere.
I know.
But you would but when I was a kid, I got the PlayStation 1, and then I got the PlayStation 2. Like, that's what my grandparents had purchased for me for like Christmas. And played on the PS2, and I honestly don't remember playing much on my PlayStation 2. Like, I remember playing like SSX Tricky and a couple of other games that were like all right. I remember Grand Theft Auto and Driver, stuff like that, and like all the I miss demo discs too. That was wonderful. Yeah. But beside the point, demos are really like not even a thing anymore.
Yeah, they're
but anyhow,
really not.
But I got the original Xbox, and my first game was Yakuza. What was it? It was Reckless the Yakuza Missions, which is really just, it's something. You get to play in a DeLorean though, so I mean, like, it's right up there for me. So I played my original Xbox, and then that's all I stuck to. And then when the 360 came out, that's what I wanted to get. So I ended up getting a 360, and I had no aspiration to get a PlayStation 3, because in the beginning, if I remember correctly, the thing that I loved about the Xbox versus the PlayStation is, number one, I liked how the friend system all worked out, and I liked the way that everything kind of like just got handled. I love the original Blade dashboard. Moving through like the 360, I was like, oh, this is nice, it's fun. You know, my friends are on here. Met a guy from England named Peter that I'm still friends with him online today after like 15 years, and like played like Saints Row and like a lot of games that I really enjoyed on the Xbox. Then like I bought a PlayStation 3 from a pawn shop eventually. And that's how little I really cared to buy a PlayStation. And then the Xbox One came out, and I pre-ordered that the day that it was available. Same with the PlayStation 4. And I bought the Xbox One because I wanted an Xbox One. I bought the PlayStation 4 because they had a pre-order available, and I was like, might as well get both consoles. Literally played like 20 minutes of the Killzone game on it. Played about, I don't know, just a couple minutes of like Infamous. I played all of Uncharted 4, and then I think Last of Us. No, I was on the PS3, so that's literally the only games I played on my PS4, and I ended up selling it. Like, in this console cycle, I have a PC now, which I'm surprised that you even care about a console after having a PC. And then I just,
there we go.
I don't care about consoles anymore because, like, with the console, I'd sit down and I'd play a game, but it mainly relied on my friends being online to really do anything on the console, or I was going to play a single-player game. Like, that was my two options.
Yeah.
And on the PC, like, you can sit down and just go onto, like, Steam or something like that and just search for free games, and there you go. You just got a new game to play for a while, or, like, pay $3. Steam Summer Sale, you pay $50 and you own 1,000 games now.
Yeah, which is why, like, that is really, like, hurting these mom and pop shops or like stores like GameStop, like while they're going out of business, you know, like because of, you know, PC and sales on Steam and things like that. You know, it's insane because, you know,
I mean, it's all digital downloads now.
Yeah, basically, you know, it's like hardly anyone buys physical copies of games anymore.
And that's funny. I used to buy only physical copies for games. They would have them available for download, and I think it's because the hard drive space would never support it, so that's why I was like, I don't really care.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I still do. I don't know. There's
I still would on the Xbox. I 100% still. I bought Red Dead Redemption 2 on. I bought it physical.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have the physical copy of it.
I just like having physical copies of my games, just because I like the box art. You know, like the physical disc, and knowing that. You know, I know there's ways to transfer your games, you know, like in between, like if you want to play them at a friend's house, you know, but I just like the convenience of having the physical game that I can bring with me anywhere I want. And it's like, hey, you want to play this game? You know, here it is, you know.
And now I've got a PC without a disc drive.
Yeah.
I just download everything online. It's great.
And ironically, now I have a PC with a disc drive.
With a disc drive, and you will not find like really many PC games that have a hard installed disc. It's always going to be just a digital code inside of a box.
Yeah, I guess I just got lucky with that. I actually downloaded a PS2 emulator on my
for your damn
that's
Def
why
Jam.
I've been playing. Yeah, I've been playing like PS2 games on it because I never thought. You have to understand. I never thought I was ever gonna be able to play PS2 games again because my PS2 like broke down a long time ago. I actually found it, and like it's just literally the console itself. There's no cables for it, but even it doesn't even matter at this point. I actually found the original Xbox in our house, and I tried connecting it, and I was like, I had a feeling it wasn't gonna work.
Sure.
I found all the cables and I plugged it in and I turned it on, and it actually showed the animation of like it was turning on, and I was like, no way this thing still works.
Sure.
But of course, like as soon as it got past that, it showed me an error message, and I couldn't
Nice.
like play it anymore. I was so excited because I have so many games on the original Xbox that I wanted to play. Like I was gonna play I was gonna play Mortal Kombat, Def Jam. I was gonna play.
I still have Doom 3 on the original Xbox.
Doom
and
3.
the Halo 2 expansion map pack for
Really?
multiplayer.
I was gonna play Halo. I was gonna play. There's a bunch of other games that I can't remember right now, but Half-Life.
Half-Life, what, the orange box?
Yeah.
Dude, you can get that on the PC for like $7, or like you can pay like probably 17 cents and get everything.
You can get a bunch of things on PC right
But-
now, but I'm saying like on the older consoles.
Oh, it's nice.
That's
It's not,
what I wanted to do.
and the
Because
beautiful thing.
I'm a sucker for the classics. I love that.
I love how people usually refer to the classics as stuff like Command or Missile Command and stuff like that, and you're like, I'm a sucker for the classics. You know what I mean? Like Halo 2, it's good shit.
That's like considered classics nowadays.
Exactly. It was one other thing I wanted to mention real quick, which is I don't know if you had seen, in reference to the new Xbox and PlayStation, because I'm an Xbox fanboy. I've got an Xbox tattoo. I mean, I love Xbox.
You have a Red Ring of Death tattoo, which
Damn
should
right.
tell you a little bit about the Xbox history.
Yeah, I mean, I went through 7 of the 360. That's fine. But living up to the 360's wonderful legacy, have you seen the issues that the Xbox One Series X has now? Have you seen these things?
What the new one?
Yeah.
What does it have?
This is where like I haven't heard any issues from the PlayStation. I imagine there probably are like a couple of them here and there, but the primary thing is that it smokes, and like it comes out of the box with a damn nicotine addiction, essentially. Like they pull out the refrigerator and they plug it in and they use it and what have you.
The refrigerator.
And I mean, what else to pull out?
That's what it looks like.
So, number one, people are apparently vaping into their Xboxes, because I literally saw a post that said, do not vape into your Xbox, which is something that I don't know why. It's like the same person that was just like, do not touch curling iron to your eye. Like, it's that one
Or
person.
like the Wii warning that said, your Wii is not thirsty. Please do not give it something to drink.
Don't give it anything to drink. But yeah, no, so they I guess it's something to do with the soldering inside. I'm not exactly sure. But they actually, they start smoking out of the top of the system.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's been happening. They've just been turning off randomly. The smoking thing has been like the most common, but there was one video that I saw that I should show you here soon. There's a video of it's a guy in the living room with his kid, and his kid's watching something about trucks or something like that, some kids show, and he was talking about the Xbox turning itself off and then turning itself back on. The power's failing.
Really?
So he's recording it, and it had started to pop, like a real loud pop, and so it would he would like record the Xbox and the TV, and you see the TV turn off or like the Xbox like lose connection, and the thing literally sounds like somebody just like smacked two boards together, like it made like a fake like gunshot sound. You know what I mean?
Oh my.
And it's just like it was loud as hell, and then he was like, "Yep, there it goes," and then a couple seconds later, bloop, and just turned back on and started to go along his day. Like nothing ever happened, like some type of like domestic abuse partner, you know? It's ridiculous.
See, and this is why I'm trying not to get a case of FOMO, because
FOMO,
fear of missing out.
Oh.
Yeah, because I want the game console so bad, but I think I just like the idea of it right now because of, the fact that everybody else has one, and I want one for myself, of course. But the thing is, aside from the fact that they're gonna re-release these consoles, in a cheaper price later on.
Well, the Xbox Series
an upgraded
S
version
is the cheaper price one. It's $300. It's a $200 difference.
Yeah, like they're what for the new console?
Yeah. Xbox Series X is $500. Xbox Series S is $299 or $300.
Oh, I didn't even realize there was already another.
Yeah, there's
like,
two of them that
version.
came out. One of them looks like, a bastardized version of the DJ Hero controller. The other one looks like a refrigerator. I don't know where they got their designs, but that's what they are. One's black,
So
one's
what?
white.
They released the console with an upgraded version already?
Yes.
That's weird.
It is very strange. But you know what? You don't have to worry about the case of FOMO, so to speak. You know why?
Why?
Because I don't have either of them because I'm sticking to PC.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I think you should upgrade your PC and you should just keep on top of it. And with that being said, unfortunately, I know I want to argue with you about consoles all day long. However, we do have to come to a close of the podcast.
Okay.
But
This will definitely come up again later on.
I'm sure we'll argue about it again and again. I mean, like how off topic we got here in this podcast, we will come around to it again at some point in time and just argue about it in the middle of like talking about steak. We'll get there. Thank you all for listening. It's been Intelligence Not Included. We really enjoy making the podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in. I just want to give you guys a update that we are now available on iTunes, Spotify, and a bunch of other websites that I can't remember, but most popular places where podcasts are located.
Wherever you get your podcast, basically.
Wherever you get your podcasts and your local drugstore, you can probably find us.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course, we're available on YouTube and all that good stuff. We're going to go ahead and go try to edit this video because I promised a whole bunch of people that it's going to be up at 10 o'clock tonight.
What?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna teach AJ how to edit a video. So we're gonna make that happen this evening. So thank you guys. We'll talk to you soon.